Hello, dear students. Hope you all are doing good and taking all the precautionary measures to combat COVID 19. Dear children, in this video, we will study about Chapter 4 of Civics, that is, Understanding Law. And this chapter will be covering the topics like: do laws apply to all? How do new laws come about? And unpopular and controversial laws. Children, we will be studying one storyboard associated with this chapter. Children, in the last chapter, that is, why do we need Parliament, we studied about Parliament. There, wherein we also studied what are the functions of Parliament, and lawmaking is also one of the important functions of Parliament. Once the laws are framed, it becomes obligatory on the part of every citizen of a country to abide those laws. That is, everyone is equal before the law. Everyone has to follow same laws or rules and regulations, be it a poor, be it a rich or a minister or a servant. For example, if there is a rule on right to vote, and there is certain age requirement, that would be same for rich as well as for the poor person. So the constitution does not discriminate. From this we can conclude when it comes to law, everybody is equal. But when we talk about understanding laws, we must have a kind of historical framework in mind. So let's understand this thing in two sections. We will be studying all about pre-independence period and the post-independence period. So children, what was the difference that existed between the two periods? First, let's talk about the pre-independence period when we had Sedition Act. Now, what this law all about? This was a law where the Britishers could, suppose if somebody is protesting or criticizing the British government without any reason, without any trial, they could put them to jail. And that was a kind of practice that was done. It was a kind of arbitrary law, we could say, because there was no specific reason. The only way for a common Indian to be quiet, and if not, they would be put to trial. However, in post-independence period, we have came up with so many laws, and all of these laws have a kind of constitutional framework, means they do not discriminate people. So that was the key idea of pre-independence and post-independence period. Children, if we look on to a kind of much prior scenario during historical times, there used to be kings and kings' men, and there we had the people working for those. There was a kind of hierarchy in the society, and the caste system was highly predominant during that period. So, during that period, we could say there was a discrimination, and this discrimination was there in the form of penalty that was applied. For example, a person belonging to a high class would have to pay low penalty, and however, a person belonging to a low background would have to pay high penalty. So, that was a kind of discrimination which was prevalent during that period. Again, if there is any criminal case, for example, there's a case of smuggling or a theft, all these cases were brought to court, and the violation of any law would be given punishment. And therefore, we say that all people are equal before the law, and law does not discriminate. And once you have a person who is being accused or found guilty of violating any law, he could be given a punishment. for the same. Now the things have changed drastically from the colonial time. As we said, during colonial time we had arbitrary law or the rules that existed. Children, as we have already studied about Sedition Act, similarly there was another act which was known as Rowlatt Act. Now, what was Rowlatt Act? Rowlatt Act also talked about imprisoning the people without any trial. Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal were arrested, and to protest this kind of arrest, people gathered at Jallianwala Bagh to hold a meeting where General Dyer started the firing. So all this were kind of Indian national movement. Children, we will be studying about these Indian national movement in the upcoming history chapter, where you will also learn how the Indian national movement gained momentum. Basically, these Indian national movements were based on the discrimination that existed in the society. The idea was to bring about equality in the society, and towards the end of 19th century we have seen that many Indian scholars became legal professionals, and even Indian judges were also seen in the court during British period. After framing constitution, we had numerous laws that were passed and existing ones were amended. For example, Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005. Now, this amendment talked about the equal rights for son and daughter over the share of family property. So, dear children, this was all for the video. We will be back with the next part of this video, and in case of any doubt, you can ask the same in the online class. Thank you, children.